All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin Gunn, and I am coordinator of digital scholarship here at Catholic University of America Libraries. This workshop is being recorded and will be made available at a later date along with the slides. So today we're going to be exploring Tableau, a software package designed to analyze data and to use for data visualization. This is an introductory workshop, so it's geared towards those folks who are curious about the platform. And what we're going to do is create a basic map that interacts with your data. So let's get started. So just a quick overview of the platform. It's important to know what you're working on. Looking at where projects are stored and the interactivity of your data and the platform. Next, we'll be looking at the types of data that will be illustrated with a focus on geographic data for map creation. After that, form the data, followed by building a geographic hierarchy. Then we will build our map, and then if we have time, we'll publish it on Tableau Public so that other people can see our work. So I just mentioned these slides. I'll be sending them out to you. Tableau, the website has so much wonderful information up there, from video tutorials to longer textual assignments, if you will. There's lots of help there to get started. They even have a wide selection of sample data, and we'll actually be using one file from their sample data just as we go through the workshop. All right. So there are different versions of Tableau. We're going to be using Tableau Public. Um, there's an online version that you can just use it on the web-based. That I prefer the desktop edition, whatever works for you. I'm going to do the desktop edition here, and I'm going to click on this link. And you'll come to this page here. You sign in, and they will get you can do you'll get the basic public line. If you want more, you'll have to give them a student address and request a student application. You will. They're free, but they ask that you renew every once a year. I'm assuming that's still the same pricing model for that. So that's what we have here. So I'm assuming you logged in, you got it. You've downloaded Tableau Public, and we're now going to go. We're going to launch Tableau Public. Here we are. We're here. Okay, great. It's here, and I am going to put into the chat. I'm going to put the file that we're going to be using right here. So there you go. If you want to work along, that's great, or you can use it at a later date. That is fine too. All right. So what are we looking at here right now? We're just coming to Tableau. We're looking at the platform where you can keep your projects. So I've been working on, doing a couple practice sessions here with mapping, and these are my little projects I've worked on. They're slightly different because I changed a few things just to see what they're going on. But this is where you can, once you really get into Tableau, this is where you can keep all your projects, and I find that quite useful. You'll notice over here, they have a listing of what version that you're using. We're using the latest one here, 2026.1.0. So if you're using an older model, it may not work as older version. It may not work as exactly as you wanted to. So it's always good to keep that in mind. So what we have on this platform here is an amazing thing here. You can connect to a wide variety of data here. So, Excel files, text files, and JSON, Microsoft PDFs, spatial files, very important if you're doing mapping and that. You can also connect to servers, So I'm going to click on server here for a second, and you can see the screen change, and I can go to Google Drive. I can do this O data thing. I'm not familiar with that, but you can connect with data wherever. Now, it's very important to note here. So what we're doing on this page with connect is that we're connecting to data, but we're not altering it. It's very important to understand that. So whatever you do in Tableau, you manipulate all that, you can save it, that's great. But make sure you have to make sure that your connection to your data source remains at the same place. So if you're using a file on your desktop, an Excel file, which we'll be doing, that's great. It'll work with all that. But if you move that file, then the interactivity is broken. So that's very important to remember. So don't move your file. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Microsoft Excel on the left-hand side. I'm going to use the sample Superstore revised. Slightly changed some data in there, knocked it down a little bit, and we'll go from there. And all right, so there we have there. Just to do something very quick here, I'm going to um, add the file once more. Let's see, there we go. And there we go. So I added the file that we'll be using today into the chat. There you go. Okay. So here we are, and we're all on this very interesting platform, a platform within the platform, if you will. And we have up here the sample database that we're using, Superstore Revised. So that'll be basically sales of different stores across the United States. And we can map that on the map of the United States. So where do we go from here? So what we'll do today is we're going to join geographic data. We're going to format that data in Tableau. We're going to create location hierarchies, which is important. And we're going to build and present a basic map view, and then apply the key mapping features along the way. So there'll be a good introductory step for you. So the first step we want to do is we want to connect to our geographic data. So geographic data comes in various shapes and formats. So when you open Tableau desktop, the start page shows you the connectors available on the left, which we've done. You can work with geographical data by connecting to spatial files, which I had showed you before, or you can connect to location data stored in spreadsheets, text files, or on a server. So you have a lot of a variety of options. So spatial files, such as a shape file or a GeoJSON file, they contain actual geometries, points, lines, or polygons. So whereas text files or spreadsheets contain point locations in latitude and longitude coordinates or named locations that when brought into Tableau, they can connect to Tableau, geocoding, or what is considered the stored geometries of your data references. So they read Tableau is great reading that data and then saying, okay, this is where these locations can be. Okay, so we've opened up, we've got our page here. Um, this is what's called the data source page. And this is where you prepare your location data for use in Tableau. So some of these tasks you can perform on the data source page, and what you can do on here with these particular files, sheets, if they will, you can add additional connections and join your data. So you can add additional files and bring them in if you wanted. Um, you can assign or change geographical roles in your fields. You can change the data type of your columns, from numbers to strings, for example. You can rename columns. And you can definitely split columns, for example, taking a full address and then breaking it out into multiple columns. Um, All right, so let's see that. Multiple columns like street, city, state, and postal code, that sort of thing. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to join our data. So you have multiple data sources or sheets. So as long as these data sources or sheets have a column in common, all right, you can join them in Tableau. And it's very important that tables are able to relate to each other. So you combine the related data on these common fields, and the results of that is a virtual table that is typically extended horizontally by adding columns of data. So doing this is a process where you have to, it's necessary with geographical data, especially spatial data. So you can join a KML file, for example, and there's different markup language files out there, KML, that contains custom geographies for, let's say, school districts in Massachusetts, right? And you can combine that with an Excel spreadsheet that contains demographic information about those particular school districts. So you can do a lot of interconnecting of these different things, as long as they have a common column in common. So what you want to do is you want to join this here. So what we're going to do on the left-hand side here, we're going to go under Sheets, and we are going to go to double click on Orders. What's going to happen is we are going to have all this data sheet load up for us so we get a nice look at it. Tableau, like I said, we are operating on an Excel file that is structured. It's complete, all the data is cleaned up and everything, so it's very nice. When it's loaded into Tableau, Tableau will read it and say, oh, that looks like it's a number string, that looks like it's a date, this looks like a strict number or numerical or decimal, that sort of thing. It reads that and goes through. So that's a nice thing, but you need to check and verify just to make sure that it read it properly. So under Sheets here, we want to double click under People. So we're going to double click People. Now, some interesting things happen. One is we have a common link here. And we know this because it says there's a relationship here and it's connected. You also have up here how they are connected, what the relationship is. It's the people. And here you have different ways that you can look at your data listed here. If you click on that, it will tell you different fields and the like. Convert to union if you want to join, that sort of thing. So this is what it tells you on both sides here, that there's a relationship going on, which is very important. So there's a salesperson that's assigned to every location in your data source, as well as to the regions. All right, so now we're going to format our geographic data in Tableau. So once you've set up your data source here, you might need to prepare your geographical data for use in Tableau. You have a wide variety of ways to do this right here. So you notice across here the various columns, and they all have specific little symbols here. So you have different data types, all right? You have data roles, and you have geographical roles to your fields or your columns. So it's important to distinguish each of these. So you could have, for example, in latitude and longitude fields, they will have a data type of number, which is the decimal. So you can have a data role, which is a measure. I'll get into dimensions and measures in a minute. And it can be assigned to latitude and longitude, which are geographic roles. So all other geographic fields should have a data type of string, a data role of dimension, and be assigned the appropriate geographic role. So let me demonstrate this. So we can change the data type of a column. So when you first connect to connect to geographic data, Tableau will assign all these data types automatically. So you have, if we were to go here, for example, Oops, come back here. If I click on the number here, I get ways that Tableau has assigned this particular column. So it's not a decimal. They decide, you know what, it's a whole number. Could have been date or time that, or any of these. You'll notice here geographic roles. You can get very, very specific. We obviously don't want geographic role in this column. There's not really any point of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the data source page. We're going to click on postal code, and we're going to have to go down here. Oh, come back here, you. And I'm going to go right here. So here we had, I should mention just here briefly, you have text, right? Alphanumeric text here, and then you have a globe under these particular ones because they're dealing with geography. So we're going to go here, we're going to go to postal code, and I'm going to click on this, and it's pulling up this and saying it's a number and it's a whole. But you know what? We don't want that. We want it as a string. So I'm going down here, click on string, and boom, it's changed that. So that's a very quick way that you can make sure your data is accurate. Now you can assign geographical roles to your geographic data. So a geographic role is associated with each value in a field with a latitude and longitude value. So when you assign the correct geographic role to a field, Tableau assigns latitude and longitude values to each location in that field by finding a match that's already built into the installed geocoding database. Okay, so what I'm saying is a lot of it's done automatically for you. So this is how Tableau knows where to plot your locations on a map. So when you assign a geographic role to a field such as a state, Tableau creates a latitude generated field and a longitude generated field. And I'll show you that in a minute. So geographical roles, like I said, they're automatically assigned to your data, but if they are not, as I've said, you can go to your particular global feature here, geographic role. In this case, my state province column is in fact state province, right? And I can select any one of these if I wanted to. So you have these options. You can even create from a particular information that you've uploaded as well. So there's different ways that you can do that. But generally speaking, Tableau will give it to you automatically. And that's, of course, based on your structured data being very much clean and ready to use. All right, next thing up. Okay. All right, so what we have here, so we want to change from dimensions to measures. So when you connect to geographic data, Tableau also assigns data roles to all of your columns. So a column can be a dimension or it can be a measure. In most cases, your latitude and longitude columns should be measures, right? For special cases, like such as if you want to plot every location in your data source on a map without the ability to drill up or down, go from city to state, for example, they can be dimensions. But for the most part, they're going to be measures. So what you want to do is you want to change the data role of a column. So on the data source page here, you go down, you click on Sheets. I clicked on Sheets, and all of a sudden, boom, we have another page to bury down into. And right here, we have our data table, if you will, data source. So this is now called a worksheet, and you can see sheet number 1 down here. So this is our data worksheet. Is where you will build the map. So on the left side of the screen is the data pane, and it's all this wonderful stuff. And what you have here is you have your two files, if you will, the orders and the people, right? That we brought together, we linked together. They have a common column, and then you have all the particular columns under here. listed here. And you'll notice the particular color is sort of a blue, right? Now, if I go across the line, it changes to green. This is to let you know that you've gone from dimensions to measures. Okay, and if we do this, let's see if this works. If I drag row ID down here, it highlights saying, oh, dude, you're going from dimensions to measures. Be careful of that. So that shows you that is a very important distinction. Now, another thing to note too, that what has been created is our latitude generated and our longitude generated down here. All right, so just putting that into the worksheet, we get some additional data provided for us. All right. And the reason why we have this is because we have assigned geographic roles to our data. So the fields in the data pane are divided into measures and dimensions. The field placed in the dimensions section of the data pane are often categorical data. So um, these are more categories, right? So if something is or is not. So if it's either Washington, D.C. or it's not type thing. So that's a distinct category. Think of it that way. Same with date and custom ID. When you look down here in the measures, you have quantitative data. So that is sales and quantity, for example. Okay. Okay, so if I wanted to convert one of these down to a dimension down to a measure, I just drag across here. And if I want to do sales and move them up to dimensions, I can do that sort of thing. So it's important to know that these they're called pills. If you can move them back, if you have flexibility in moving them around, and we'll show you that in a second too. All right. So our next step is we want to create a geographic hierarchy. So you want to create this hierarchy. This is not required to create a map view, but creating a geographic hierarchy will allow you to quickly drill into the levels of geographical detail your data contains in the order that you specify. So we're going to set up a very quick geographic hierarchy here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the data pane. We're going to right click on country right here. Right click. There's a lot of right clicking on this software. It's just not pull down menus and that. It's important to know that because you can find a lot of interesting things. We're going to go all the way down to hierarchy. And we're going to create a hierarchy. There we go. And what we're going to do is we'll call this mapping items. There we go. And you'll notice right away, when we look over a data pane, we've created mapping items here, and we've put country region here. Well, that's great. But since I want to drill down, I want to add some other stuff. So I think I want to add, how about state and province? I think I will. So I'm going to drag this. I hold my mouse button down. I just drag it. I put it here, country and state. But wait, I want more. So I'm going to go up here and take city, and I'm going to put that right under state. And for fun, I'm going to put the postal code right there. So all of these are listed in this order under mapping items. All right, so we're ready to go. We're ready to build a basic map now. So we've connected and joined our data. We've formatted our data, right? And now we've built a geographic hierarchy. So we can start building our map. So we're going to do a basic map view right now. And what we're going to do in the data pane, we're going to double click on country. So here's country, and we're going to double click on it. And woohoo, there we go. Our first map. Notice one data point. That's it. So that's not very useful in that sense, but it is a start. You'll also notice here we have country listed here under what is called the marks folder, if you will. And this is where you can do a lot of different things with the images listed here. From color, the size of things, labeling, details, and also tooltips. We'll demonstrate each of these here. In this case, this is listed under details right here. All right, so the state field is added to the details on the mark card, and the mark updates to include a data point for every state in the data source. So let's do that. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to move this over to the marks card. I'm going to put it under details right here. I've dragged it and I'm putting it right here, and boom. Now all my states have a little data point right there. So if you didn't create a hierarchy, the little plus sign on the country field will not be available. See these little plus signs here and minus? So that tells you right away, that's a clue that you are using some type of hierarchy. Um, in this case, to add a state as another level of detail, you just manually drag the state from the data pane to detail, which we did, onto the marks card. So there it is. Now you have a basic map. Now, this is not very helpful to us, let's be honest. We want to do a little bit more. So we want to change the points to polygons, basically shapes. So I should mention, the default map type in Tableau is often a point map, which is what we have here. So we want to get a little bit more sophisticated. So what you want to do is on the marks card, we want to click the mark type drop-down menu right here. So we're in the marks card. We click that. And we want to go down to map. And there it is. We have a map of the shapes of each state. And you'll notice we're getting the country and the particular state. So that's good. That's working. We would have it labeled there. We'll get to that in a bit. All right. So now we want to add some visual detail. So you can add measures and dimensions to the marks card to add visual detail, all this stuff here, to your view. So in this example, we're going to add color and labels to the view. So what we want to do, since we're talking about sales, it's probably a good idea to add some sales here. So we're going to add sales. We're going to drag this up here, and we're going to put it under colors. And then let go, and all of a sudden things are beginning to take shape. So we added sales. And if I drag this over here, remember we just had the United States and then the state. Now we have the sales in this case, right? And you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, we have the sum sales, and it's giving you a basic scale, saying the dark ones mean more money. The ones that are much lighter, light green, a lot less sales have been made. So you're getting some information about your data. So sales is a measure and is a qualitative color palette is used. So if you were to place a dimension on color, then a categorical color palette would be used. So how can I demonstrate this? Let's see. If I did this, you'll get this saying, you're going to have a lot of data, input it in here, labeling and that. Do you really want to do that? And I said, no, I won't. So you'll take my word for it. This is you will have categories put in the legend here. They'll be distinct, and each category will have a distinct color in that regard. All right, so we now want to add some labels. So from the measures, we want to drag sales again, and we want to go to label. So we'll go right up here, drag and drop, and now we have labels. The sales are now demonstrated. Now, if we want to do, we want to right click in the data pane, we want to right click sales. So we're back here. We're not doing it here. We're doing it over here. I right click this and I get this that shows up. And I want to go to default properties and I want to go to number format right here. And this will bring up a menu of how I want to present my numbers. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to look at the number format. I want to do numbers custom like that. And I don't really want decimal places right here. So I'm going to do decimal places at 0. And for units, right here, display units, I'm going to do thousands. So I can have the ability to change how this looks like. And now you'll notice the immediate change, 6K, 1K, 2K, that listed there. So you have the ability for each of these fields, if you will, to change them moving forward and to edit them as necessary. All right, so we're going to customize our background map for the next one here. So it's everything, background maps, everything behind your marks, your borders, your oceans, your location names, all that sort of stuff. So you can customize the style of this background map as well as add map layers and data layers. So in addition to customizing the background maps, you can also connect to a web map service server if you really want to get detailed, or you can use Mapbox and all that. By the way, Tableau has a lot of links and stuff on their website where you can learn how to do that stuff. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to be very straightforward here. We're going to customize our background map. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little variety here. We're going to go up to map right here. We're going to click on that. And we're going to go to background maps. Pardon me. We're going to go to background layers. Very important. Background layers. I'm going to click on that. And here's what we have listed on the left-hand side here, our background layers right here, and all the different styles and things that are selected or not selected, points of interest. That's how specific you can get. I love this. Building footprints. Who knows what that is? But you do have these types of options. Okay, so this background maps layers pane. So on the left side, it looks, what you can do with this is you can do a lot of things. You can click the style drop right here. We have it light and we actually want it normal. So we're going to click on that and there you go. Looks a little bit different. So the background map will change. So in the map layers pane, under map layers, select coastlines. Okay, and then clear country region names, state province borders. Where's that? State province borders and state province names as well. All right, so I've selected those and we're going to go out of background and there we are. We're back to this and you can see things have changed a bit. So the background map is now simplified and draws attention to your data. So so you're cleaning this up. All right. Now the next thing is, if you work with any sort of sales office, they usually have regional sales. Particularly you're responsible for a particular region, and of course this can overlap any sort of geographical data field. In this case, it could be a selection of states that we want to do. So we want to create a custom territory. So in the data pane, we want to go down to state right here and select create. Right here, I should point this out that when you go over a particular pill, it will give you a little drop-down menu here. So you just click on that and you want to create a group. So we're going to go to group here, and this little menu comes up. So now what we want to do is we want to collect and group our different states. So I'm going to start off with California. I clicked on California. In order to bring them all together, California, Oregon, and Washington, you have to hold down your control button on your keyboard. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm using Windows. I'm not too sure what it is an Apple or Mac, but just beware of that. Control, I clicked on California. I'm going down to Oregon. There we go. And I'm going to also select Washington. All right. Now I've selected those three, and now I'm going to group them. And I click on group right here. And there we go. And I'm going to call this, what shall we call this? Call this the West Coast. All right, so I got one there. Now I want to do some others. So I'm going to want to do the South. So what I'm going to do is go through here, click on Alabama, Florida, Georgia, say Louisiana, see what they have, Mississippi, South Carolina, and Texas. I'll just include those, and I'll click on group, and I will type in South. All right, the next one is the third territory. That's going to be a big one here. So we'll start with Connecticut, Delaware, DC, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, and West Virginia. So I'll group those, and those are going to be called East Coast. Right there. And then we'll select a whole bunch. And now what we want to do is include others right here. So what we have now, just to check, we have West Coast, we have South, we have East Coast, and then we have others, everyone else. So I'm now going to click on OK. And I think I did not do it properly. Oh, I know what I should have done. Hang on just a second. We're going to do that again. State to state, state. All right, so this is the group here. Should mention edit this group. We have South, West, that, and other. And this is, we want to change this to Central. And there, all right. So you'll notice right here we have the state, province, and group is listed. Let me just adjust that. There we go. State, province as a group. So what we want to do with this, we've done our particular work here. We want to drag it to color. And there we go. So now we have a couple of different things going along here. We have the state as of California, in this case, West Coast is a region, and we have sales, that particular thing. So this is working quite well, actually. All right, so on the marks card, we want to click the color icon and select edit colors. So we're going to click on that. I'm going to click edit colors. And here's what we have. We want to assign a palette. There we go. The colors change slightly, but now we have this set up. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, we have the categorical data here that we have designated from our states. So there you go. All right, so from measures, we'll go over here, down here, I should say. You want to drag sales to the tooltip right here. Oh, so when you hover over a field, you will get this listed here. This is what we had before, but now you get a sense of that. All right, so so on the Mars card, you can click the minus on the countryside here. So if we're, let me just move this again. If I click this little minus sign here, you get that. And if you roll over your mouse over the region, it'll just show you the regional reference points. That's it. Right. Let's see. So the states no longer appear on the map, but notice how the sum of sales has updated for the labels and in the tooltip. This is because the custom territories aggregate at the level of the group rather than separately for each location within the group. So the sum of sales you are seeing in the West Coast group, for example, uh, are the total sales for California, Oregon, and Washington combined. So just to show that. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to create a dual axis map, I should say. So far we've created two map views, one that shows the sales per state and one that shows the sales per region. So could you layer these maps on top of one another? Yes. So you can, in Tableau, you can create a map with two layers of marks. This is called a dual axis map. All right, and is often used to layer points over polygons. So in this example, we will layer two polygon maps. So what we'll go to do here, we'll go to the data plane and we're going to drag longitude generated to the column shelf and place it to the right of the first longitude. So we have up here, right? You see it's been up here, but we're going to take longitude again. We're going to drag it all the way up here, right next to the other one. And boom, we immediately have two identical maps. So you'll notice immediately what's happening here. Under the marks card here, we have, you'll see how I put it over and it squares it. This is for everything that's going on here in both maps, right? But if I want to look at the first map, it gives me this, which is slightly different, and it's pointing this one out here. That's what that one is. And then this one here is going to be this one over here. So it's important to make those distinctions. So you can control the visual detail of the map views for each one of these, and still, when they're layered, they'll still look nice. So the top longitude tab, that's this one here that I'm currently in, corresponds to the map on the left, and the bottom one corresponds to the map on the right. So on the marks card, select the top longitude generator one, which is this one right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from the measures, I'm going to drag, remember DM, and here is the measures. I'm going to drag sales. to color. And there we go. We have one color listed here. The map on the left updates. So on the top longitude generated marks card, I can click the plus sign on the country card here, right here, and boom. I now get the states listed and the variety listed there. Right, so on the marks card, we can click color right here. We can edit the colors. This pops up and we can select edit colors. In this case, I'm feeling kind of dreary, so I'm going to go with gray. There we go. And then I close that. And here's the various gray for the colors. All right. So on the columns shelf, so on the column shelf, one right click the field on the right here. See this up here? We're going to right click on that. And we go down here. We're going to do a dual axis. Right there. I click on that. So we go back to the marks box here for this one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to select the second map that we wanted. So there we have it. And what we want to do here, we want to drag some sales. Alrighty. There we go. Oh, from the view. All right. So what we want to do, drag both some sales and we want to remove them here. So what you can do when I'm holding this down now with my mouse button and I'm just dragging it to the left, both of them, both sum sales, and they both disappear. So that's a quick way you can add back and forth in that. All right, so here we go. So on the bottom, what we want to do is the bottom longitude here. We want to click color. Then for opacity, we want to make a little bit weaker so we can actually see through it. So I'm going to change it down to 50. So this is a crucial step if you want to be able to see the map on the bottom layer. Otherwise, it sort of mushes together. All right. So here we have that. So you can now see how each state performed within each group. There we go. Okay, so on the bottom one, we're going to click tool tip. There we go, right here. And what we have here is a little coding that you can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in this right here. So you can actually manually do stuff. And I'm going to do state, province, group. Going to do pull from region sales, colon, and then some sales. There we go. So I'll put in this coding here and I'm going to press OK. Now, did it work? Let's find out. Oh, did not seem to work. Why is that? It's supposed to be listed here. So, all right. Um, I'm wondering if maybe I should put in sales here. If I put in sales or details, what happens? Okay, so here we go. You need some sales there. So what I will need to do is I need to put in a little space there. All right, anyway, so you get this sense of where you can do this under tooltip, right? Sales, blah, 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 region sales. So I think I need a space in here. Is that? I'll do it on both sides here. There we go. And there you go. Regional sales listed here, West Coast all along here. And that. All right. So that is the second one there. All right. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to customize how others can interact with their map. So what we want to do is we want to go to select map again. We're going to click on that and we're going to go to map options. So we're going to click on map options. And what you want to do is you want to select map scale, show map scale right there. So we selected that. And we can, if we wanted to, remove map search. You'll notice right up here, if you wanted to do that, I'm going to keep it in just for fun. And you can also do the show view toolbar like that. I kind of like to have that in there. You'll also notice when I did show map scale, at the bottom right-hand corner here, it pops up. So we go like this, and you can see it right there. So it gives you an idea. So we're going to keep that as is. Okay, and that is essentially your map as listed here. Now, if you want to publish it, you can. So what we can do is you can go up to File, and you can say Save to Tableau Public. So if you want people to see your work and maybe comment and all that, you will have already created a account on Tableau Public. So there's a little field there where you can put stuff up. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to ask me to sign in. La da do do do. La da da. Remember me, please. And then I sign in. Oh, what shall we call it? Regional sales. Let's call it that. And we save that. That is now connecting, saving the workbook, going to the website, and there we are. So you can go through, it's interactive. You can look at the different sales and that. You have your menu here. You can focus on one particular state or whatever, that sort of thing. And when on this particular page here, you can do stuff. You can add details. You can add other things. Basic, nothing, nothing. Since it's the public platform, not too much material, but you definitely are. You can do a lot of stuff here. So if you want to look just at the East Coast, you can click on the legend. It'll tell you, oh, there's where the East Coast is, and that sort of thing. So there you go. So that's basically the presentation. As you can see, is quite involved each step along the way, and you do have to do things in a particular order. Otherwise, everything will go out of whack. So you need to spend some time just practicing with it. So, are there any questions? if there's no question, that's fine. Feel free to reach out to me. Oh, we have one in the chat. Let's see. They should all save publicly. Whatever's in your particular worksheet that you're using, it should all of it be put up there and available. It's always good to check to see how it's presenting as well when it finally does come up. But this is this is how it presents. I've done this 3 times, and it's or more than 3 times, I should say, just playing with these things. But you can do a lot of it. You'll notice here you can edit stuff right here and that. So this is a map that's based on your data through Tableau, which your Excel file that we used, which is on my desktop. So if I were to move it, this would become static. I wouldn't be able to do anything with it. I believe it would still present itself, but that would be about it. Here we go. So you can zoom in and zoom out and that sort of thing. So there you go. Oh, thank you very much, you guys. I hope it was interesting. If you have any further questions, I've done a couple of different ones now. Um, yeah, using charts and graphs and that sort of thing. So if you have any questions, do send me an email. My email is gunn, Gunn, at cua.edu, and we'll have a conversation. I just want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's wonderful. In that case, I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you and stop the recording.